All right. Good evening. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're catching the recording, thanks for watching the recording. This is our team Zoom, our weekly team Zoom for the Together We Scent group of teams. So thank you so much for joining us. Before we get into announcements tonight, a question came up about the new shipping changes. And we started to talk through breaking that down. And I said, hold on, let's record so that we have it on record. So the question was, the new shipping tiers are really confusing. Can somebody explain it? And Nicole, you worked on doing a breakdown and you started to explain. So go ahead.
I did. So I think people, and Jackie, since you asked the question, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think people are getting hung up in the, oh my gosh, my party was 500. Why is it still not free shipping? And they're getting upset and they're getting wound up because they think that they're paying more than they should and all of that. And really looking at and I'm trying to pull it up right now because I know that I have posted it and I want to reference it. Knowing that it's changed, it's actually kind of in a lot of our favor, being honest, and a lot of our customers' favor, a lot of club orders' favor. Parties that are 350 or more, you're going to get free shipping if it's going to one location. So anything you're putting in your cart. So if 17 people order from your online link and your party total is at $750, the host or to you, wherever place it's going, is still going to pay shipping. And so that shipping charge is $10. That's it. It can literally, it's $10, which does stink if they're only spending a couple dollars on their host rewards. However, if you're putting in 3 different people's orders in the carts and it only adds up to 100, each of those 3 people are going to split that $10. It's not $10 per person. So I kind of think that might be where a lot of people are getting hung up. They don't know how to charge shipping or what to do. And because before it was either free or 5%. But it's literally $10 split however many ways you have it up until $350. And before I go any further in that, does anybody have any questions about that piece?
Does the entire order go to the hostess though for her to split out, or does it go to the people that are ordering it?
So just like you would be placing an order normally in your workstation in the carts for Jane Doe, Susie Q, and your hostess, it's going to be the same thing. So whatever location you choose, either to be to you as the hostess, or as the consultant, if they're close enough to you, or to your hostess if they're not close to you and you're mailing it, having it direct shipped to your hostess, either or, but that's going to show up in each individual person's cart. So you honestly don't even have to try and figure it out. It literally does it for you. So for instance, if your hostess, picks her items and it's all shipping to her, but she also has her mom stuff that's coming to her that you entered and her sister stuff that's coming to her that you entered, there's 3 people that are in the carts that are shipping to one location, which is to your hostess in that case. You'll be able to see in their individual carts when you put, I think the option says estimated total with tax and shipping or something, it says at the bottom. When you click that and it gives you your total, it shows you their whole breakdown, just like it did before. It's always done that, but it'll show you the shipping. So if it's one person, if it's only the host, it's going to show you $10 for shipping. If it's 2 people, they're each going to have $5 for shipping. If it's 3 people, they're each going to show $3.33 in their cart for shipping, and so on and so forth. But you're going to be able to see that breakdown per cart so you can charge accordingly. Does that help?
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because I've never done orders that way. I've always done them as PWS. That's why I'm asking, because I don't know I know how to do it. I've just never done it that way.
So if you're doing it if they're ordering on your PWS, that's going to be the next shipping tier that we should talk about. So if there's no other questions for the actual party side of things on your workstation with shipping, then I'll go on to that part. Jackie, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's it, because a lot of mine are PWS. So when I went in to close the party and got charged shipping, and I was like, wait, it's over $350.
Yep.
Yep.
Because you weren't entering it. So
Correct. Yep.
that's where that is. Okay, perfect. So that answers that. Okay. On your personal website, it used to be $8 shipping up to $79.99 and then 10% of your order after that. So if somebody had a $127 order, they were going to be paying $12.70 in shipping. That is not the case anymore. Now for their personal website individual order, they're going to be paying a flat rate of $10. So if they were to spend between $100 and $349, they're actually getting a deal on their shipping because it's not 10% of their order anymore. It's just a flat $10. However, if they spend $350 and then it's free. It's an unlimited amount, is free. $350 to $1 million would be free for shipping on their personal website too. Does that answer that question?
Yes.
Any questions on
Yep.
shipping?
Okay. I saw movement on the screen, but there was no sound coming out. I didn't know if it was me or her. Okay. The last thing is with our Scentsy Club. That also used to be $8 or 10% over, and it's not anymore. It's a flat rate of $8. So if you have a several $100 Scentsy Club, whoever that might be, I'm not going to call myself out, but if you do, you're now getting a huge deal in shipping because it doesn't matter how big your order is, it's only $8 for shipping. So that would be the third piece to the puzzle. Did I answer everybody's questions?
I think so.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for that breakdown. Great question, Jackie. And there is no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah.
Ever. There's no such thing as a stupid question because if you have the question, somebody else has the question.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. So anyway, that's all. Carry on. You're welcome.
Appreciate you. All right, let's get into some announcements before we talk about the incentive. So Lisa, talk to us.
Thank you, Nicole, for that shipping breakdown once more. Appreciate you, friend. Hello, everyone. Welcome to announcements. So we don't have a lot of new announcements this week, but I'm going to reiterate a couple of the ones that I talked about last time that are still super important as well. But first and foremost, printed customer order forms, the triplicate, quadruplicate. I can't remember how many they are because I haven't used them in a long time. I'm going to be real honest with you. But they are not temporarily unavailable. So they've been removed from the consultant store and they've also been removed from Scentsy starter kits until the next shipment arrives, which is anticipated to be early September. So if you have anyone joining this month, when they get their kit, when their kit ships out, it's not going to have customer order forms in it. So make sure that you have that conversation with them and let them know that that's something that they won't be receiving right away. But when they become available, I'm sure that Scentsy is going to ship them out to them. And or if they're close to you, maybe you can give them some of yours in the meantime, if that's something that they want to use. Also, things that are in stock though, the product training guide is available now. Fall winter product training guide and the fall winter product sheets are both available in the consultant store. They just came back last week. So those are super cool and very, very important tools for your fall winter season. They ship very cheaply. The product sheets, fold those up and put them in a little business envelope. And it's way less money to ship those than a catalog. So really good tool to have at your disposal. We were just talking about this before everybody hopped on, but the Harvest Collection brochures are coming. So as you guys may or may not know, Harvest Collection launches beginning of September. So the brochures are going to be available on the 11th, which is 2 days from now. Do not wait to order them. If you want those physical Harvest brochures in your hot little hands to give to your customers, don't wait, because shipping times, they can be they can be unpredictable. So if you want to get them and you want to get them to people before the 1st of September, make sure you order them as soon as they're available. Don't wait. Scooby-Doo, that was pretty awesome. And it was here and then it was gone. But as Cassie posted in Together We Sent earlier today, they did announce that a second chance presale is coming soon. So keep your eyes on your workstation for that. I'm sure we'll announce it when we see it as well. The product status list, we have one thing coming back into stock on Thursday, the 11th, and that is the White Amber Antique Room Spray. We do have products on back order. As always, make sure you're checking your product status list regularly. It updates weekly by 3 p.m. or after 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that so that you can set expectations with your customers. Alice in Wonderland is launching soon. I know that Melissa's pumped and we're all pumped. I think we're expecting it next week. That's what we've been told, but we don't have info yet. Thursday is typically when they drop product images and pricing info and launch info. So keep your eyes on your workstation on Thursday, the 11th, when a lot of stuff is happening for Alice in Wonderland. Some things that I talked about last time, Magical Moments Sweepstakes. Remember that is ongoing, you guys. You can be sharing it every day, all day long. Make sure you're checking, you're reading the FAQ before you do so that you are in compliance and you're not doing anything that is not Disney approved. So that's really easy to find in the workstation. The FAQ is. And remember to share the Magical Moment Sweepstakes. It's literally just your PWS address, .scentsy.us/sweepstakes. So you can send people directly to that page and let them know the rules per the FAQ. And then last, we got new consultants. Remember, get a free warmer when they join in August, the Flaunt Your Feathers warmer in their kit. Party hosts who have a $350 or more party also get a free warmer in August. There's 3 different ones to choose from. Not choose from, but there's 3 different ones that are a possibility. It will be randomly selected for them. And then warmer bundles. Remember, we have warmer bundles that are still available with retired bars. There's 3 different bundle possibilities with the bars, but they're all retired. They're not current fragrances. Some are summer scents, some are winter scents, and then I think there's 3 different warmers. All of this again is under your news section. You can look those up, but make sure you're sharing those with your customers because those are great deals. And that is all I have for you this evening.
I love it. Great job. And I love your sign on, sign off. It's wonderful. So thank you so much. All right, you guys, let's dive in and talk about the incentive. So by now, you know that there is a new fall winter incentive that began August 1st. Many of you have requested to be a part of the Together We Sent incentive page. So thank you. I am looking forward to using that page and really beefing up that page for this incentive. You're going to see a lot more posts, some challenges, I'm really, really big on the snap and share right now. That's going to come out every single Friday. You'll have the ability to snap and share, which means start taking a picture and get into the habit of taking pictures when you work your business. It is awesome to post on social media. It is just a great tool to have for even your own reference so that you can refer back to maybe how you put your thank you packs together or what you put in your thank you packs or your thank you mail last time. But get into the habit of taking pictures of the things that you do that are business related. And part of building that habit is going to be this post on the incentive page for Snap and Share on Fridays. So we're going to have post your point totals on Mondays. We're going to have an incentive chat at 9 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday night, which is right before this conference call. We'll have weekly challenges, maybe not every week, but but those challenges will be posted, and then also snap and share. So incentive chat, Together We Sent incentive chat is a really great place to be. So we're talking about the incentive. And before we even get started talking about the incentive, just in case you haven't watched it, you haven't seen it, or maybe you just need to see it again, we are going to play the incentive video to get you pumped up to talk about tonight. So let me share. Here we go. Awesome. Okay. So let me see. All right. Did that pump everybody up to talk about the incentive? Because it should. All right. So there's 4 locations that you can choose from. 5th location would be SFR registration. We have the ability to earn or choose Wonder of the Seas Caribbean Cruise, Quebec City, Canada, New York City, New York, or Los Cabos, Mexico. Top achievers get to pick first. And level 1 is 18,000 points. You earn Scentsy Family Reunion 2023 registration. Level 2, 25,000 points with 1,250 required sponsoring points. And level 3, 45,000 points. That's earning the trip for 2 and includes 2,500 required sponsoring points. So that is a quick overview. Now, if you haven't explored the incentive tab on your workstation, I encourage you to do so. It is under the More button and then Incentives. And in here, not only does it give you an overview and the FAQs, plus your past brick by brick results, but it also gives you a track your progress. So these are the 3 levels. It tells you your total points at the moment, what you are on track to earn, and a points breakdown. So this is going to come in handy with something that we are going to show you tonight. This track your progress tab will be handy to you. And then how to earn. Let's talk about this really quick. So if you've never earned an incentive trip before, you might not know how to plan to earn the incentive trip, or you've attempted to earn it in the past, but hadn't really set out a plan, hadn't really followed pretty closely your points, what you needed. Sometimes it was like, well, I'll just wish and hope and maybe I'll earn it. And we want to help you develop a plan so that it's more than a wish and more than a hope, because it's actually very achievable for every level consultant. So the qualification period runs August 1st through January 31st. 1 point for every 1 PRV point. 500 points for attending World Tour in person in your area. That's the upcoming World Tour. Yes, that happens outside of the incentive period. They are going to back add those 500 points in once you attend a World Tour. 2,500 points PRV consistency if you have 1,000 or more PRV. for 5 out of the 6 months, that's a 2,500 points for having PRV consistency. That's a lot of points that you can bank on. So 1,000 PRV is going to be 1,000 PRV plus is going to be what to set your sights on. Because remember, you also get the 1 point of PRV for every point of 1 point per one PRV. Geez, try saying that 3 times fast. So if you have 1,000 PRV every month for 5 of the 6 months, that's 5,000 points plus the 2,500 points for consistency, total 7,500 points from your PRV. They add up quickly, but you have to set your sights on what your goal is going to be. And then promotions, personal promotions come into play. You also have activity bonus, so get paid at rank for the following titles during the qualification period. You get points for that. 250 points for each frontline consultant sponsored prior to August 1st that promotes to certified. So there's 250 points. Those count towards your sponsoring points. 1,000 points for each frontline consultant that you sponsor between now and January 31st, who promotes to certified consultant for the first time during the qualification period. And 1,000 points for each frontline consultant who promotes to lead, star, superstar, or director for the first time during the qualification period before January 31st. Now, if you scroll down past that qualification section, Scentsy gives us some examples by title of how points could be broken down. Now, there are a million different ways that points can be broken down, because for every point of PRV that you have, that's a point for the incentive. So if you kick butt in selling during this incentive, you are going to have more points toward your goal. But these give you an idea for certified consultant, lead consultant, star consultant, superstar consultant. These are all starting titles. So if your title right now is a lead consultant, here is a sample breakdown of how your points could total 25,200 by the end of the incentive period. So that's selling 2,000 most months, except for in October, this consultant sold 2,500. That then gives you 2,500 in PRV consistency. If they sponsored 4 new consultants that certified, that's 1,000 points each. Sponsor a star consultant. So one of your frontline promotes to star. You personally promote to star. That's 2,000 points. Lead paid at rank for 3 months, 100. Star paid at rank 300 times 3 months, a total of 25,200. Now, I may have just run through that really quickly and made your head spin. We are going to break this down for you and show you what we mean by these different classifications or qualifications. And we're going to give you a tool. Tammy and Shane Frazier built out an amazing incentive tool today that we are going to show you, and you will have the ability to use to help you keep track of your points. Not just keep track of your points though, keep track of your goals, and so that you know every step of the way of the incentive, where you fall with what you're trying to earn. So just giving you an idea, these are sample scenarios. Again, there's a million different ways to earn points. There's a million different ways that things can happen. Do not shortchange yourself, and do not count yourself out just because 25,000 points sounds like a lot, or because some of these items don't sound achievable for you. Do not discount yourself. Okay. Let me stop sharing for just a second. Tammy, did you want to jump in and say anything before we transition?
Yeah, I was going to say the thing that we actually put together is kind of a work in progress. Just how it came about. Melissa and I were talking about tonight's training. My husband heard me when I went back to work. He actually, when I came home, he had created this. So this is kind of a rough draft. We'll revise as needed, but I think it's a way for you to actually see a way to track your points, and then project it, and then put your totals, your actual totals in there, and see how that adds up. Because I think what you need to do is you need to visually see it, and kind of push yourself to see what you need to get to those end goals, whatever it is, whether it's you're shooting for 18,000 for the registration for SFR, or you're trying for 2 people. Visualization of a goal is always great to help you achieve it. And so this is just another tool for you to play around to see what you need to make your trip a reality. So.
All right. So should I share my screen? You want to walk through it? All
Sure.
right, let's do it.
And I guess, Melissa, since they don't have this right now, do we want them to grab a piece of paper and pencil?
Absolutely. So you guys, we're going to help you plan some of your goals and your tracking for this incentive. So as we work through the spreadsheet, grab a piece of paper and you can jot down your own goals. And this might be something that you need to take a look at after this call. You may have to think about what you think you are capable of, how much you're willing to push yourself. But for the sake of example and limited time, we are going to show you what it would look like to map out earning this incentive.
And you'll get this tracker afterwards that you can actually plug those numbers in. But I think it's great practice to actually start working on those numbers
I didn't mean to do
while
that.
we're going through it. So some of the things, once you get this, a couple of things to learn is don't delete anything in the red boxes. Don't go over into the second table that says tables do not edit, because it'll kind of throw all the formulas and everything off. So I think the first thing that you actually need to think is think hard. Am I shooting for registration? Am I earning for a trip for 1? Or am I really pushing for a trip for 2? And I would never tell you not to shoot for the stars. But you may want to be realistic. If you're not doing some of these things right now to push yourself for consistency in your business, maybe you want to shoot for level 1 or level 2 and see where you're at. We have to remember that trips our incentives are not designed to be easy. They're designed to push us outside of our comfort zone and grow our business in the areas that they need. But I can tell you that they're definitely worth it when you do earn them. So definitely worth pushing. So based upon what you decide, you'll use the drop down and either pick the 18,000, 25,000, or 45,000. So go ahead and pick one. For this one, we're going to do level 2, it looks like.
Okay.
So with that, we know that for 25,000, you have to get 1,250 from sponsoring. So you use that drop down to select that. And it's going to show out of that 23,750 need to come from non-sponsoring at a minimum. You can actually provide more sponsoring points if need be. So has everybody figured out what they're shooting for? Just nods of head. Okay. So personal promotions. If you are not already a certified consultant, you need to get there, and you need to get there as quickly as possible. Okay, so that is your first goal. Let's get there. That's your first 1,000 points. Okay.
Let's pretend everybody on this call is already certified.
Okay. So certified.
Because do you get, if you are essential right now and you promote to certified, do you get, I don't think you get promotion points. Or do you?
Says yes. Yeah.
How
1,000.
If you personally promote to a certified, you get 1,000
Personal
points.
promotion 1,000, 1,500 lead, star 2,000.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
All right. So we'll say certified consultant. All right. Certified consultant.
Okay.
And
So then you're going to go over and mark the drop down. For this purpose of projection, everything that you're wanting, you're going to show that you earned. Okay. Because it's going to total your points.
Mhm.
So you're going to go down. Let's say we get to star. Let's get to star, Melissa.
Okay. All
So
right.
we're going to go over and mark certified, lead, and star.
Okay.
Okay. So that's going to show that you would get 4,500 personal promotion points. As this goes through, okay, towards the end of January, or as it's getting closer, you're like, star's not going to work. What you would do is you would go back and you would delete star consultant. So that would update to just the 2,500. Okay. So this is this for the purpose of projecting to show you what you actually need, but later you would need to go update this if those things didn't happen, or if you achieve more than that, you got to superstar consultant, you need to add that in too. Okay.
Yep. And that's an important thing to point out, Tammy, is that this is not a one and done spreadsheet. This is your map for the duration of the incentive. You're going to have real numbers to come back here and plug in.
Yeah.
Right. So
let's, has everybody projected what they're pushing themselves to? Huh?
Yes.
Does anybody have questions on the promotions? Robin, did I see you come up on the screen? I can see a little
Yes.
corner. Did you have a question or?
No.
No. So push yourself. I would also tell you, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're a certified consultant, do we think that you're going to get to superstar director this time? Could happen. Harder to get there. So let's dream, but not push to the extremes.
Mhm.
I would say sometimes it's better to be realistically cautious than over optimistic, because if you don't meet those are extra points that you need to come up with some other else, some other spot. And you don't want to have to try and do that at the last minute. Okay. So everybody project what they need. Everybody know the points that they would get with those personal promotions. So what you would get there would be 1,000 for certified, 1,500 for lead, 2,000 for star, 3,000 for superstar, 5,000 for director, 8,000 for star director, and 10,000 for superstar director. Okay.
Okay.
Tammy, I just want to clarify, that is only the first time you promote
Yes,
to that rank.
Correct.
Correct, Robin. Yep. Thanks for that clarification. Yes.
Yep.
So those are the points. Any questions? I can't see everybody on the screen. So if you do have a question, please jump on.
Hey, Tammy.
Yeah.
Was the points, the 3,000 points, the 1,000 points, 1,500, is that only if you certified or if you became?
No, this is personal. This is so personal. So this is the first time that you certified. So
During the incentive period.
incentive
During-
period.
Okay, so even if you've been a consultant for years, as long
Yep.
as you certified during that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was saying like if you joined before August 1st, then.
No, that is if you sponsor somebody.
Yep.
Oh, and they do it during, okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
So
Okay.
So
let's
this
say
is your personal.
let's say your title right now is lead consultant, then you're going to be shooting for star.
Yep.
And there's 2,000 points.
Okay.
So yeah, you're whatever you are now, if you're going to push it to promote, then it's your next title that you'd be putting in this box.
Okay, I'm tracking.
So for example, Melissa, I, and Rand, we have superstar. We're not promoting. We get 0 in this area. We get no promotion points because there's nothing to promote to.
Yep.
Okay. Does
Okay.
that make sense? Good question, Amy.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So
Yep.
for example's sake, we're going to do you promote to lead and you promote to star during the incentive. Okay. All right. Cool. Next.
So now we're going to PRV consistency, and we may change this up a little bit, but if you're shooting to earn one of these, this is a must in my opinion.
Mhm.
You got to hit this because you actually need more points than this. So you will hit at least 1,000 PRV consistently 5 out of the 6 months, nothing less. You can't settle for it. So your goals have to be higher than this. Okay. So for this tracker, what you would do is we're going to mark yes. So the goal, there's a drop down in like the peach color and the red box. You're going to drop down and put in the 2,500 points because I don't want to see 0 there. If you're shooting for this, there shouldn't be 0 because
Yep.
you're going to hit those. Okay. Move it over to the red, Melissa, because that's what totals. So you
Yep.
got to drop down in that red also and hit the 2,500.
Yep.
But basically this is a way for each month as you hit that to mark it as yes or mark whatever you want in those. Okay. Does anybody have any questions there?
And remember,
Again?
we haven't even set the PRV goal yet of the number. Right now, we're just saying, absolutely, I am going to get these 2,500 consistency points by at least selling 1,000 or more for 5 out of 6 months.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just doing it. I'm going to commit, and that's a necessity. If I'm going to earn one of them, that is a 2,500 points that I'm getting. To
Okay.
me, we were talking about this before. There are so many people that earn the incentive by just a few points. You never want to leave points on the table. And this, they have given us 500, in my opinion, 500 free points for working your business, for doing something that's going to benefit your business. And that's attending in-person world tour. Again, in my opinion, unless there is something absolutely that you cannot make it, this should also be a yes. We should all commit to getting to world tour. Because again, those are 500 points that could make the difference between earning that trip or not.
Yeah.
Any questions on that? And this is for the upcoming, okay? And Melissa, you said they're actually going to look back at that after attendance, right?
Yes, this is the upcoming World Tour 2023. It will fall outside of the incentive period, but once you show up and they mark you as in person, then you will get 500 points added back to your incentive tracker. So you
Any
don't just
questions?
get the 500 for registering,
Right,
you get 500 for registering and attending.
okay?
Okay.
What happens if they end up virtual only like 2022, where we set to
We'll
go then
figure-
cancel?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. We don't know the answers to that at this point, but they always figure something for us.
Yep.
So, okay. Moving on. So paid at rank. Okay. So this is a goal that you always want to work towards. This again, as I like to say, is you want to challenge yourself, but be optimistically cautious. Because again, it's a pleasant surprise if you get more points than you projected versus ending up with less. And then you have to figure out where you're going to get those extra points from. Okay. So what I would say is if you've been a consultant for more than a year, start with going back and looking at where you were over this incentive period, August through January. And what's realistically for you to push yourself. Also look at, has your team grown since then? Where they were last year, where you are now, and what you think you can get paid at, okay? And you want to project, and it doesn't have to be the same. And just because, so for example, if I'm a superstar director, I may not get paid as superstar director the majority of those months. It may be star director or director. Look at those months and project what you think. Usually October, November are usually our busy months. Sometimes September because of the harvest catalog. So you need to look and see what your business does. It may be based upon parties that you usually have, if you have events, those type of things, but realistically look at it and make a decision what you think you're going to get paid at, and then project that. So what you do for the purpose of this is you project it, and whatever you project, you're going to mark as earned and actual earned. Okay, so the points for those, and it's down in yellow. If you look at the bottom, it tells you lead gets 100 points, star 300, superstar 500, director 1,000, star director 1,500, and superstar director 2,500 points. So you go in there and project those. Now, again, once we project all of these, as you're updating these, at the end of August, if you instead got paid at star versus lead, you're going to actually update your actual to the 300 points.
You're going to come here, change it.
Yep.
Change it.
Or you can even keep your projected as 100 and move your actual to
Sure.
to 300 to see that you exceeded it.
Yep. But we're going to go with, we're going to do this.
So
Does
are
that
you-
make sense?
Are you saying that if you are like a star consultant, but
You still
only-
get points if you get paid at lead.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's
If
not
you're a
as much
star-
as if you get paid at star, but you still get paid.
Okay.
If you get paid at lead, you get 100 points. If you get paid at star, you get 300. Whatever title you get paid at for the month is the points you get.
Does that make sense?
Except if you're a star consultant and you get paid as a certified consultant because your team doesn't go active for the month, you don't get any points.
Okay.
Okay.
What questions? I'm surprised there's not more questions on that one. No? Okay. So PRV. This is where you need to push yourself. This is where a lot of points come from.
Yep.
You want to push outside your comfort zone. Remember, we said we're starting with a minimum of 1,000 points.
Yep.
Because we're getting those consistency points. So we're at least doing 1,000. But I would push yourself much higher than that, because a lot of times, if you don't have the points here, it has to come from sponsoring points.
Mhm.
So if you're a stronger sponsor, then you don't need to do as much sales. But if sponsoring isn't a strong suit for you, then you need to personally push yourself outside of your comfort zone for sales.
Yep. Sales is the easiest points that you are in control of. It is.
Because it's a direct reflection of your work.
And I don't mean sales come easy. I'm just saying it is the set of points you can control. Your sales are not dependent on what your team does. Your sales are not dependent on whether or not you promote. None of that. If you sell 2,000, you get 2,000 points. Okay.
So, I mean, if you push yourself, I mean, if you really want this and you're like, we are going on this, my goal is, you know, I'm going to do 6,000 a month. You have in a few months, you got the points,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
And those numbers that I'm throwing out may seem absolutely ridiculous to you, like 6,000 a month. There's no way I could do that. I believe that everyone on this call, and I don't even know everybody's title or rank or how long you've been with Scentsy, can do it.
Mhm.
If you make that your goal,
Mhm.
and you have a plan and it's intentional, you don't just wake up with a hope and a dream that sales are going to come to you. It's not easy, but you can do it.
And you have to track it daily, like you told me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mhm.
If I hadn't tracked it daily and looked at it every day, when I looked at it and I realized, oh, I'm not going to make it if I don't get going, it made me think creatively. It made me think actively instead of passively. Gee, I might put an order in. Does anyone want anything? I didn't do that. I reached out and got creative and came up with things because I knew my tracker was empty, because
Yep.
you told me to track it every day.
Yep. Great feedback, Robin.
And if daily is too overwhelming to you, at a minimum, I think you need to track it by week. I think that's the least amount, by week, because sometimes you may not get the daily goal, but as long as it ends up in the weekly goal, then you should be fine. But you have to track it. Like Robin said, you have to track it, because you can't just hope and pray that orders come to you. So any questions on PRV? Okay. So this is where it comes into is previously sponsored. So for those of you that don't have a team, you're not going to have anything here. These aren't points that you are going to have. But those of you that have a team, if you have anybody that is sitting at Essential, you want to type their name in there.
Yep.
Okay. That's what you're going to do. You're going to pull your reports, and you're going to pull any frontline consultants that are listed as Essential.
Frontline, meaning
Frontline.
directly under you. There's
And
nobody in
they show
between.
on the report as, what is it?
0.01.
Yep, that's right. That's what I was going to say.
0.1. 0.1.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we can show you if there's any questions on that, on how to pull a report. But your frontline, you want to put them all in there, type their name, and your goal is they're going to get there.
Yep. So if you've got 4 of them that are sitting at Essential, you're going to put their 4 names down. You're going to say promoted, yes. And because you're projecting, this doesn't mean actual, but you're projecting so you can figure out where you're at. I'm going to say all 4 of them are going to get certified because I'm going to work with them so they do get certified. And I will get 1,000 points from all 4 of them certified. Because you get 250 because this is prior to August 1st. They joined prior to August 1st.
Now, if they don't, come January, it looks like they're not, you would go back and you would update that and say no and take off the 250, turn it to 0.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to say.
But for this, we're projecting.
Yeah.
And all of them that we have essential, we're getting to certified.
Okay.
So now here, so sponsored between August 1st and January 31st, who certify? You don't know who you're going to certify, but you're going to make a projection of how many. So you don't know their names yet, but I know there's 5 people out there that I'm going to sponsor and I am going to get them to certified. So you're going to put the spots in of how many people you are going to go out and find. And your goal is to get them to certified. If you're sponsoring them, they're going to certified. Okay. And what that's going to entail is talking to them about hostess coaching and getting on board. Because not only that, though, it's for them. Okay. It's for them because you want to get them to that 25% as quickly as possible. So it's not just about you getting the 1,000 points for this incentive. It's about helping to get them to the 25% that they earn. Okay. Quicker. So they may not even have to get to have the 20% because in the first month that they're there, they've already hit their 1,000 and they're getting 25%, at least 25% from here on out.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Okay.
Now, frontline promotions to lead star, superstar, or director. This is where you're going to list your frontline that are certified and above that you are going to work with to promote to the next title. Okay. So you're going to pull up your reports and put this information in there.
And it could even include these 4
Yep.
that you're going to get to promote to certified. These 4 might end up being down here. And if you can work with them to get to lead,
yep,
you get points for that. So if they promote to lead, you get 1,000 points. So let's say one of your downline promotes to lead. That's 1,000 points.
So what you're going to do, we haven't figured this out and we may modify this. So let's say Cassidy was up there and she promoted to certified. She also promotes to lead, but she also promotes to star. You're going to put her name in both spots and then show the reflection of the promotion to the next rank.
Yep.
Okay. So that's how you actually
So
use
but it's really important to see here from one consultant promoting from essential to star is 2,250 points for you. That's one of your downline. So there's the ability to make things happen by working with your team.
And I'm not saying there's one that's easier than the other, but lead is one of those things, you know, a lot of people know at least one person that they can bring along, you know, the best friend or somebody that's interested in that likes Scentsy or is willing to support. And so that's one of those things that you talk about. It just takes them to get that one person and combined for them to do the $1,000 in sales together. And so those are things that when you're thinking, when you're bringing on that first person that you sponsor, you're also thinking of getting them to certify and then to lead. Those should be things that you're thinking and you're talking to them about. Because not only are you getting points, this is an incentive for them too, that they can be earning. And those are points that they get.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
questions on that?
So based on what we projected, we've earned level 1 because this is our total for all of our points that we projected above. Here's our total. Now we were working toward 25,000. This picture that we've painted earns us level 1. If everything that we projected happens, it earns us level 1. Now, if everything in this picture happens and we need to get though to 25,000, the difference between those two is 6,300 points. Where is the easiest place? And I say easy, I know that you're going to say, how am I going to sell 6,300 more? But the area that you have control over is going back up here and saying, you know what? Instead of 1,000, I'm going to push myself and I'm going to sell 2,000 a month.
In 1 month, maybe 2,500.
In 1 month, 2,500. So we've got 2,000, 2,500. Do you see? This is how you can come back and tweak your numbers. Cancel. And now we go down and look at, we've earned the incentive by 200 points. Your sales are what you have the most control over. If you have to make up sales differences, or you have to make up point differences, your sales is going to be the first category for you to go back to and tweak. But can you please see how important it is to use a roadmap while you're trying to earn the incentive? Because if you didn't calculate it to this kind of specific detail, it's very easy to fall short, lose your way, give up, quit, not work hard enough, because you don't have anything that's continuing to push you. But by tracking what is possible and putting actual numbers down based on what can happen, you will surprise yourself. And I'm telling you, even at superstar director level, we still plan our points because I'm not missing the incentive. And so I want to make sure that I'm on track to earn it. So we still do it at this level. We are running a little bit over on time. Is there any questions that anybody has? I know that if this has been foreign to you, this may have seemed like a lot. We will have the recording available tomorrow so that you can go back and watch the spreadsheet again if you need to while you go through and continue your projections. We will make this spreadsheet available as soon as Tammy gives me the green light that it is available. We'll make it available, or she will post it. But we just want to leave you feeling encouraged, not discouraged, that this is possible. But it's possible because you planned. Okay.
So a couple things on here. Dawn has a great example. She missed SFR by 36 points last year because she was new and didn't know this. So again, you can't achieve a goal without, a plan. That starts. Cassie said, yeah, we'll definitely make it this year. Yes, we will get you the spreadsheet ASAP. I just want to correct a couple things on it. So we will send it to the group page.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. Will we be able to type into this right away, or do we need to save a file on our computer first and then add it into our info? I would say the best thing is to save it so you have it on your desktops that you can go back and keep reusing it. The same things that I would say when we started is if there's a drop down, use the drop down. Don't type into it, and then don't delete in the red boxes. Okay, it will delete as you move the numbers above it or change those, and then don't use the second tab or edit anything on that because that's the tables that are in there. But if there's any questions, you can let us know. This was, like I said, a rough draft, but somewhere that you can play around real time to calculate those numbers, because I'm a firm believer that everyone, I know there was 25 people on here at least at one point, that all 25 could be earning one of these incentives, whatever you set your mind to, and really work. It's not going to be easy, but a lot of things that are worthwhile aren't easy. And so you got to push yourself outside those comfort zones.
Yep.
And I think any of us here, once you set that plan of what it's going to take, will be more than willing to sit down and brainstorm ideas on sales and sponsoring and those type of things to help you get to those points.
Yep. Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, you guys. Recording will be available tomorrow. Spreadsheet will be available as soon as possible. And let's earn this incentive together, okay? Cool. Did somebody pipe in that they had a question?
Nope, it was me saying don't go yet.
Oh gosh, you'd think I would be in the habit yet. Okay, let's do it. Let's do our drawing.
Here we go. Sorry, Wendy.
Wendy,
Yay.
that's awesome. Okay, congratulations, winner. You guys have a great night. Talk to y'all soon.